And welcome back everyone to my challenge Mr. 107, where I basically try and get within the 107% time, which in this case, I have to beat 1 minute 6.280 to not be so bad. Now this is my first lap on the Austrian Grand Prix circuit. I have, unlike the time in Canada, not done any practice whatsoever. I made sure that all of my settings are working, and I changed my camera settings a little bit to make sure that it's a little bit more like the esports version, like Jarno Opmeer, what he does. And I already can tell that it's really helped out in terms of getting an understanding about where things are at, so it actually makes the car look even better, looks a little wider, more dangerous. And this corner, oh, this is going to be bugging me for pretty much the entire playthrough because I can never really quite get the entry right. And when I did get it right, I had no idea what I was actually even doing. So already I'm pulling out from the default ghost quite handily. I wasn't really even trying just to kind of get an understanding, and already I'm starting to get a little bit more of an understanding on traction control, not having it at all. And going into there was a little bit squirrely, but I'm just trying my best not to just slam my foot on the actual accelerator coming out of corners. Just be a little bit careful. And I feel like the Red Bull Ring is quite forgiving when it comes to the overall feeling of traction control. I feel like if you're not really good at it, you can actually get a good understanding. So now here we come onto the actual first lap. Now, here we go. A 1:07.303, not entirely ideal, so we're still behind the time, and oh, that last corner ain't good at all. So yeah, next again, we'll try this again. So basically, I'm not going to be going through every single lap that I did, but you can tell where things are starting to actually gain more of an advantage, and here is when I'm slowly starting to get an understanding about that corner, but I'm still shifting down a little bit. I know that I don't necessarily have to, but I was still gaining a little bit more time. The second sector was still better than my other one, but mind you, a 107, I think we can do better than that, folks, because we need to get a whole 9/10 left, and that was really bad. So there's definitely more time to be had here. That was just fumbling about all over the place, but a 106.952, excellent. That is good, not too bad, but we're still below the 107% time. We've still got a few more ways to go, but that exit was a lot more improved from what before. But again, I have no idea how I did it. I just did it. So I'm just trying to get an understanding about the braking, but there we go. That's a little bit more understanding. I'm getting the gist of that one in particular, but we're still trying to get that. That's okay, still a little bit wide, but here we go. Do I shift down still? Yep, I shift down still. I'm a little bit wobbly, but I've not lost too much time. My second sector is still better than my previous outing, but how much closer is this going to be? I'm trying not to lift, but that's just, oh, that happens. That definitely happens. So all of that was completely negated. Never mind. But nevertheless, I'm actually still up on my time. I got a good exit out of that one too, and oh, that was good, but I went a little bit deep, so I've lost about maybe a couple of tenths on what I already had. So all the advantage I had going into that corner, no, all completely gone. And what do we do here? No, shift down once again. I will improve over time, but for now it's just, I'm not really gaining that much time, but I'm slowly trickling it out to 4/10 below my delta, so that's really good. So that was quite tidy. And that was okay, but I still feel like I could gain a little bit more time there, more speed. But there we go. Here's a big chunk of time, 106.439. Very nice indeed. But we're still needing at least 2/10, and yeah, once again, more dramas with that particular corner, that's for sure. So here we go. This is just going into this, and I felt like I was getting a little bit more time out of that, but look at that. Somehow I managed to hook that up quite nicely, and boom! 105.871. We've beaten the 107% time with a 106.3% time, and I do a little spin to celebrate. There we go. But I decided to tweak the setup here, reduce the roll bar, actually bring the brake bias up a little bit, and do I touch just a little bit on the tire pressures? So just to try and make things a little bit more stiff, but there we go. I just decided to invalidate my lap time. That's how good that particular boy is. And Jammy Boy Lols right there is definitely giving me a little bit of a jip there, but my second sector is an improvement, and I'm trying to understand how to do that corner in 6th gear, that chicane. And it's not lost me any time, and I'm a couple of tenths up, so not too bad there. And look at that, I hooked that up quite nicely. But I went in a little bit deep, but I didn't lose too much time there, so we're gonna whack off a little bit more time, 105.345, there we go. That's a little better. So I decided to improve a little bit of toe out. I was actually realizing I quite like a bit of toe out. So now we're down to 105.4% time. So we're slowly becoming less and less of a back marker. We're getting there. And so far during this lap, this is all right. And that is not bad at all, but I'm still losing a little time. But that hookup's really nice. I get it in, but I still go a little wide. So I pretty much scrubbed off the majority of the advantage that I had, but I'm still up. I'm almost there. Oh, that's so good. That's such a good corner. And then this one, nah, I didn't quite hook it up. But then again, I managed to get the DRS on time and I went a little wide. 105.26, slightly shaving off some things. And once again, on the following lap, I do the same again. Just shave off a little couple of hundreds. So we're now 105.3% behind the time. So there we go. Now that first corner, I know it's meant to be a fourth gear corner, but it's just really not gelling well. And this, I'm trying to not brake and turn, but even then, I feel like I'm not really getting anywhere. But as you can see, the acceleration out of that corner is actually good. It's an improvement because I'm really wanted to try and get below 1:05. I feel at this moment, I think a 1:04 is pretty much the best I can hope for. But so far, so good on this particular lap. It's certainly paying a little bit of dividends, and so far, so good. And not ideal. No. So, that I really wanted to go in a little bit deep in that chicane, but I just can't do that. But here we go. So I try and do that, and there we go. Try this again. And so far, we're a little bit up on this one. And do we try this again? I love getting that right. And so far, it's always the invalidated lap time track limits. Who would have had it? But there we go. So we get a nice exit out of that corner, so that's all right. It wasn't a particularly tidy one, but it was something. So now we go into this corner, and I think I managed to get the hang of it, but I'm still scrubbing off a little bit of time. I've lost half of that, but slowly gaining some of it back and going into this. Still a little wide, could be a little bit tighter. Then here we go. I love this corner when you get it right, but when you don't get it right, you just feel like you're losing so much time. So I lost about a 10th in that chicane, but can we actually get some of it back in this one? Yeah, kind of, but it's still good. But there we go, just too wide in there, and unfortunately, that's that lap ruined. It's about a 10th below, so unfortunately, we just decide to go again, and as you can see, going into that way too deep. But here we go, one last go. We did it! A 104.85, 104.69% time. Now that's a nice time. But there we go, folks. We'll look forward to the Austrian Grand Prix, but be sure to like and subscribe for more of these. I'll be doing more of these challenges, and comment below what particular challenges you'd like to see me do next.